introduce myself. It's my first video I'm putting up for my channel. So if you would, like, comment, subscribe. So I kind of want to talk about the channel and what I plan it being, and kind of like what to expect. So today in central Pennsylvania, it's going to be a high 65 and I believe like a low of 48. So in other words, it's about 5 till 9, and today's going to be a beautiful day. So this is probably the first good day that you could go out and ride with. Well, I'm wearing a flannel and just some basic summer gloves, as you can see. And this is always my favorite time of the year. You know, the robins are coming back. We have a few select birds that migrate, and it's always good to hear them in the morning. So we're starting to hear those. And right now things are just kind of coming around. So a little bit about myself. I am 26, married young, to my high school sweetheart. And she and I have been together for, oh god, since 2011 as a couple, 2017 married. And she's definitely one of the best things in my life. So right now, I'm doing a quick little loop. It's one of my favorite loops around where I live. And I don't know, kind of just want to sit back and let you guys see the route, see what you think of them. I guess this will be kind of commentary, just whatever comes to mind. And feedback is great. Like I said, I literally just slapped the GoPro on and just went riding. I didn't even really take a test video. I figured the more I keep trying to fiddle with it and make it perfect and pretty much mess with it, it's just probably just end up never doing it. So this is kind of just screw it, put it together. Nice day, let's go riding. If you have any questions for me at all, feel free to ask. But yeah, so I don't know, just relax, enjoy, and we'll kind of see what we get into. We gotta watch these turns here, because this shell on the left side, well, maybe not shell, but rock, mix of rock, it always tends to fall right in that kind of sharp turn there. So you kind of always got to be mindful when I'm ever riding this road, because plenty of times in the car where there's big rocks that could really take you out if you're not careful. And I'm sure, live in Pennsylvania, you're behind Amish people, coal trucks, and construction. That's pretty much what we're known for. This truck has the 4-ways on. Let's see where it's going. Wherever it's going, I'm not going. Huh? Cool, we pulled off anyway. Nice of that gentleman. It is a little windy out. I am testing a whole mic setup. Stuff that's recommended from like shade tree surgeons, stuff like that. Equipment, I have a GoPro Hero 8. And I have a media mod mount. And an adapter, pretty much. That's really about it. Mic placement, I'm a heavy mouth breather, so I'm sure that will be evident in the video. So I might have to find a a different placement with that. But you know what? Whatever. You gotta start somewhere. See gravel there. Trailer. No problem. Everybody's out. So I've been mainly sticking to the main roads because of all this gravel and stuff like that. So hopefully these roads aren't too bad. Just got to keep an eye out. Kind of stick to the left, lane 1 or lane 3 position. But it's a beautiful day. It's probably, if I had to guess, around 50s right now, and the sun's not even out yet. So it's going to be a nice day. I'm going to kind of pull off up here. Kind of a dum-dum and didn't secure my helmet. That unfortunately happens from time to time. We're good. To the gravel, no biggie. 4 ways, neutral. Heard clanking, and I thought it was my Bluetooth USB-C connection flapping in the wind, because usually I tuck that because I don't always use it. But apparently it was my helmet not being done. Kickstand is up. Good to go there. So this road is one of my favorites. Kind of don't want to go too crazy yet. Not sure of this gravel. So I guess let's talk about what I ride too. I ride a 2022 Kawasaki Vulcan 650S. So far I really like this bike. So my first bike was a 1983 Suzuki GS 450A. That's my first bike. So like I said, I've been wanting to ride motorcycles. My dad has, a lot of family members have. And just one day I looked at my wife and I said, hey, I want to get a motorcycle. She's like, all right, yeah, do it. So about a 1983 Suzuki 450A. The A was an automatic because I wasn't quite sure how I felt about shifting and dealing with that. So I bought the bike and without my permit. So I bought the bike and then I studied for like 3 hours. I took my permit. And then I scheduled a pickup for the bike, all that, paid for, title, you know, fees, plates. Got the bike and I, very little experience, probably not the best. I took it on the freeway up 7 mountains. And yes, it is 7 mountains, up and down. A lot of big rigs go through there. It was not the best route. But, you know, I said now or never. I just kind of committed to it. So I did that, had that bike. Had like a mechanical failure because it's an older bike. So I got rid of that bike, and then I bought a like 2006 or 2008 Suzuki Intruder 1400. So I went from 450 to a 1400, and I had that bike for about 2 years. And then that bike got totaled. It was not a motorcycle accident, it was an accident at home. The bike fell over from somebody hitting it in our driveway, and unfortunately the bike was a total loss, so they totaled it. On the bright side though, I did get paid out more money than what I paid for it, because around that time COVID was starting, and the cost of bikes and all that, and cars even now, is kind of through the roof. So I kind of made out with that. So since I made out, that was around August, which is horrible, or sorry, July. I still had a riding season, you know, and I still wanted to ride a bike and just go right away and buy another one. But like, you know, in Pennsylvania, you know, I always do about mid-October. That's when I put the bike away. You'll still have a couple nice days or weeks after mid-October, but I find that it's just best with my work schedule. I work near a college university, and so their football season starts. And with that football season, it just gets busy, and you know, the last thing I want to do is not add any stable or winterize my bike or anything like that. So I just opt to do it early and bite the bullet, so to speak. Sure is beautiful back here. Looks like I've been riding motorcycle for about 5 years, I think. 5 or 4. And I absolutely love it. The cool thing is my dad's rode since he was 16, so over 40 years. And I have this fascination with this one motorcycle he has, because he was a paper delivery boy, oddly enough. Typical story. And he saved up his money and bought himself a 1970 something, I think it's a 650 as well. It's a Suzuki motorcycle. So the cool thing about his motorcycle is it had the kickstart and an electrical start, which they only did for a couple years, or he got the last year that they were doing that. And he still has that motorcycle to this day. He's bought and sold probably 2 or 3 motorcycles that I can remember, but that one he always keeps because he worked hard for it, and he bought it with his paper out money. And that's something I really think's really cool. He gets it out once or twice a year, rides it around, maintains it, fixes it up, and he plans on passing that down to our family, which I think is really cool. So my dad was always riding, you know, always rode dirt bikes, 4-wheelers, stuff like that in the woods. You know, live in Pennsylvania, you know, there's, if you look hard enough, you'll find woods, which is fortunate. So I kind of got that skill of basic riding when I was a kid. So, you know, I thought about getting a bike, and one day I just said, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna do it. Why not? Do it while I'm young. You know, when I get older, I'll, you know, eventually I'll decide not to, just because injuries and concerns and stuff like that. So I started riding. This was within 2 years. Within 2 years, started riding. My brother, he's older than me. I'm the youngest of 4. So my one brother, he started riding April of last year. And then my other brother, he also went and got his M class and motorcycle safety course and all that, and he started riding, which is really cool. So all of us brothers kind of decided to start riding, and my dad was thinking about kind of getting out of it because he's getting older and all that, but he decided to stick with it because we just started riding again. So what I'm going to say is, in March here, around St. Patrick's Day, I will be riding down to Forgotten Angels campground in Florida. I'll be riding from central Pennsylvania the whole way down. Now, I don't plan on filming it at all because, first of all, it's my first video here. I'm sure it'll be terrible. And then I don't want to deal with, you know, GoPro and chart. I mean, I'm not familiar with it. I'm not comfortable with it. So I'm just going to stick with what I am comfortable with. So, in other words, I plan on... Oh, not focusing there. In other words, I plan on going down there in March. And then in June, near Father's Day, it's going to be my oldest brother. And we're going to go down to Tennessee and Maggie Valley, North Carolina around June. My dad has work. He's going to try to get off for it, and his high school friend since he was a kid might come along too. So there might be might be a really cool trip if it pans out. And either way, it's a cool trip, whether if it's just my brother and I, or my brother and my dad and his friend, and it could be a really cool trip, and I'm pretty excited about that. And it is a little windy, so we'll see how the mic placement is. We'll see how the mic placement is. Like I said, it is windy, so... But, like I said, you never know until you try. Bunch of Amish kids. Amish farm. I don't know what they grow around here. I know around the fall it's pumpkins. It looks like they might grow... I'm probably wrong, but it kind of looks like tobacco they might grow. They always seem to hang it up in those sheds down there. And, let it dry. So this is going to be a good day, and it's going to be a couple days of solid rain, which is actually a really good thing, because Pennsylvania likes to salt their roads very heavily. And that rain, as long as the temp stays up, which it should and will for the most part, will wash this salt off. And, you know, then it's game on there for riding. It always seems like you finally get the rain to wash the salt off, and then another ice storm or something comes, and then, you know, they lay the salt right back on. I'd say a lot of people would think like official riding season doesn't start in Pennsylvania till I think like April, but around mid-March you can pick and choose those days that, you know, you're comfortable riding in. The weird thing about this road up here is, up here soon, the road is at a very steep slant. Like the right shoulder is at a really high angle. And so whenever you're riding the bike, you kind of got to counter to the left. It's a weird sensation if you're not used to it. Because it's kind of misleading when you're looking at it. View is always really pretty. especially in the summer, the green from all the fields really stands out. There should be a clearing down here to the left. There looks like some Amish folk were building a house. They cleared some out, which, I mean, this view is pretty cool. I think they call, like, Pennsylvania the barnyard quilt of the world, or the United States, something like that, which is true. One time I was flying over Pennsylvania, rural Pennsylvania, and there's like, just with all the different crops, like all the different colors and all that, and it was really cool. So I guess the people that came up with that must have been pilots or flew a lot, I don't know. Right here, see? It's all brown. So what's cool in Pennsylvania is all those trees are pretty much like dead. And then in a couple weeks or maybe a month, you'll see these red buds from all the trees coming, you know, waking up, coming back to life. And then out of nowhere it just flourishes into like this beautiful green, absolutely beautiful. And that always cheers me up. Last winter was really hard for me mentally. This winter doesn't seem so bad, at least emotionally. I think the hardest thing is last year I didn't even have a motorcycle at all. Like I said, the bike got totaled in like July. So I had to, you know, focus on that. It's like whenever you store your bike for winter, you can at least order like floorboards or change out the headlights or add fog lights, which I have. You know, you can kind of work on it, deal with it as you are kind of sitting there watching it. But but I ordered my bike in October. Yeah, October. That's when the dealership was ordering these Falcons. Trucker here, see if he's good. Oh, no, he ain't in his way. So I ordered my bike in October, and the dealership said, hey, you know, with COVID and shipping delays, you're probably not going to get your bike till March or April, which is good because that's about riding season for me anyways. So I ordered it in October, and the dealership calls me in November. It was like a week before Thanksgiving. They're like, hey, your bike's here. I was like, well, I mean, I got nowhere to store it. Like, I didn't account for it being, you know, 2-3 months early. Is there any way that you can just hold on to it until I can come pick it up? And thankfully they were cool about it. They did, kept it on a battery tender. They asked if they could put it out on the showroom or whatever. I told them, nah, you know, I kind of like it in the back, you know, just in case anybody like knocks it over or something, because that's kind of what happened to my last bike, a little PTSD. And they did that, and I would go every couple weeks, keep putting payments on it, until I got it paid down. And then in February 12th, around there, it's like 60 degrees and like a low of, I don't know, 30 something, and I rode the bike from the dealership to my parents' house, because my dad has a garage, and I wanted to store the bike there because I didn't have anywhere else at the moment, because I wasn't planning on having a motorcycle. Well, yeah, this land is beautiful, that's for sure. Is I love caves. So there's Penn's Cave there. We got to Luray Caverns, Lincoln Caverns, Indian Caverns. Multiple caves in Pennsylvania. It's something weird that I enjoy. A little bit of mud here from the farm equipment. probably manure, but maybe a mix. And there we go. Longest buggy of the year. Try to keep it tame around the horse. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this video, I'm going to kind of listen through it, see with the audio, everything else like that, kind of see, and then I'm going to try to edit it sometime, and I'll put it up. Like I said, I'm new to editing, I'm new to the GoPro, I'm new to everything like that. I know I'm relatively young, or pretty young, but technology, what I know is what I know, you know, and that's from being a teenager, so I get frustrated really easy. So it's going to be definitely a learning experience. So my main hobbies is motorcycle riding and cooking. So my wife was saying, you know, you gotta find a hobby. You gotta do something that you enjoy. You gotta do something that you like. And I tell her, like, I do. I cook. You know, I went to culinary school. I cook, and I ride motorcycles. And she's like, well, you gotta find something a little bit more in depth with that. So the whole time I'm thinking, like, oh, do I collect stamps? Do I make little war figurines? You know, like, what can I do as a hobby that I enjoy? And it took me a long time to realize I enjoy motorcycle riding. I enjoy cooking. Why not take that and, you know, channel what I enjoy into that. Road's looking nice with gravel, that's for sure. I mean, still gotta look for it, but not too horrible. Blue skies are coming up, the sun's starting to punch through. Pretty much, I'm from central Pennsylvania. I enjoy motorcycles. I enjoy food. I cook. I work in a food service industry, which is awesome, but at the same time, frustrating. That's just like with any job. Mountain here. It has some pretty cool twisties. They can be. When I first moved here, I'll show you the one. When I first moved here, I was not familiar with this road. This was in a car, thank goodness. And we got like 2 horseshoes on this mountain, and they sneak up on you quick, and when they say, I think it's like 5 or 10 miles an hour, they mean 5 or 10 miles an hour. They're not bull crapping. A lot of times you're like, 10, 15 over, you're all right. No, this this means it. See where the trailers drop off there. A lot of semi-trucks come down this road, which is annoying and impressive, because this road here connects between kind of not 2 major routes but 2 larger routes. It's like a shortcut that cuts through the mountain. And so a lot of trucks depending where they need to go, come up and down here in order to, you know, get to where they're going. But the thing is, though, is this mountain really is not ideal for semi, especially like these corners. You know, you got to be careful and watch out for them, like coming into your lane, which, you know, I don't blame them at all. I really don't blame them at all. You know, you gotta be cognizant of that stuff. And like over through here in a couple months, it's just gonna be solid green as far as you can see, which doesn't look like it, but trust me, it will be. But yeah, guys, if you know, if you have any questions or comments, I don't know, advice, feedback, give it to me. I'm sure I probably talk too much, but that's kind of how I am. I'm kind of shy at first, but once you kind of get to know people, kind of open up. So my goal this year is just to get familiar with YouTube. Well, not YouTube, I guess taking videos. Kind of get familiar with that. And kind of once I get comfortable or kind of proficient with what I want to achieve, I'm eventually going to kind of start trying to push myself and work my way up. But that's probably going to be a while. I know that. Also have 2 beagles. We both rescued them. I got their names are Reggie and Maggie. Reggie we've had over 2 years. Maggie we've had over a year. And I will say I'm definitely you know, definitely one of those dog people. There's more on that story. Eventually I'll bring it up, but right now it's just not in the cards for my wife and I to have kids, and we're alright with that at this point. But that's kind of just the cards we are given, and so we're just dealing with that. So yeah, guys, I don't know. This turns blind. I appreciate you guys watching. You know, the whole one of you, if not me, multiple times watching the video. But you know, this is more for me than anything. You know, I just want to focus on something that I can do, something that I enjoy, and yeah, I want to go from there.